What is up, guys? So the new Mega Tins are out. So anyways, let's go ahead and go over the best cards in the set. Now, first off, keep in mind that both of these tins have different promotional cards. So I'm going to go ahead and go over those real quick, and you guys can determine which one is better for you. I overall think the Kaiba one is much better, but nonetheless, let's go ahead and go over what promos you get, because in each one, you do get 6 promos. So in the Yugi tin, you get Cypher, Dark Magician, Ebon High Magician, DDD, Flame King, Genghis, Dragonox, the Empower Warrior, Performapal, Pendulum Sorcerer. Now in the Kaiba tin, you get Obelisk, Blue Eyes Spirit, DDD, Gus, King Alexander, Ether, the Evil Empowering Dragon, and lastly but not least, and what makes it better than the Yugi tin in my personal opinion, is the Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. So overall, it depends what you want to play, but overall I think that Kaiba tin will more than likely be worth more, simply because not only does it have Blue Eyes, and more people are going to be wanting to play the Blue Eyes deck because it's going to be a meta deck. Now, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit is also a really good card that you can throw into anything, while a card like Performapal, Pendulum Sorcerer is only going to be conditional to certain decks. But that card is really, really good, so don't be discouraged by buying a Yugi tin. I just wanted to get that out there, that they both have different promotional cards, and overall the Kaiba one is just, in my personal opinion, better. Like, if you want my advice, I'd get the Kaiba one, just because Ghost Ogre can go into anything, and on top of that, Blue Eyes is like a decent card. And plus, Obelisk is way better than Cypher as far as like playability. But anyways, let's go ahead and now go over the spoiler list of the best cards. Now, I'm going to go ahead and link this down below if you guys want to read all of it, but I basically did all the homework for you guys and just picked out the cards that are essentially the money cards out of the set. So I won't be covering too many of the comments and stuff, but nonetheless, the first card that is a decent card out of here is Magispector Raccoon Banbuku. So yeah, conditional to Magispectors, but a lot of people have been splashing this in other decks, so you can definitely run it in a lot of things. Metal Foes were actually even using this. It's just because Kieran is just such a great card, even though it went down to 1 anyways, but nonetheless, it's really not that bad because you can just add a Magispector monster anyway, so there's really very little downsides to the whole Magispector like engine. I know this card technically got reprinted, but I think I'd mention it because it is still a decent card. It'll only be worth like a couple bucks, but at the end of the day, it's still a great reprint in the set. Next up, Twin Twisters. Now, this card is probably going to see some more play, and especially looking forward into the future, because this is what I really want to get you guys ready for, is all these cards. Let's talk about like how viable they will be, in a couple months or a couple weeks. Obviously, that ban list we just got, so hopefully we'll be okay for a little bit. But with Konami, with those no ban list dates, sometimes you just never know what's going to happen. We only had the Performapals at its like peak for like a few weeks, so I would really suck to see some of these cards get banned or semi-limited. But anyways, Twin Twisters is just a really good card. Looking into the future with ABC, this is an excellent card in ABC. It's already a pretty decent priced card. It's like $7, it'll maybe go down to like 5-ish, but it's still overall a really solid card in the set. Now, next up, the Melody of Awakening Dragon. Now, this card is actually $5 or $6 as a common right now, so it's still a decent card, and it's getting reprinted as a super, so I think a lot of people will want them, and it's still like going to be like a $3-4 card easy. Next up, Brilliant Fusion. A lot of people like to run this in a lot of different decks, and I think that as long as they don't touch anything as far as the Brilliant Fusions go, more than likely it's going to be a card where, I don't know, if they hit like the fusion that lets you summon twice, that would hurt the deck, and at that point Brilliant Fusion is worthless. But for the most part, Brilliant Fusion is overall a pretty decent card. And on top of that, a lot of different decks can run it. Looking into the future though, no one's really playing it, but I still think it's a decent card nonetheless. Like, Madolches can run it. There's a lot of different decks that can just make use of Brilliant Fusion because it is an excellent card overall. Some of the good secret rares in this. There's actually a ton of good secret rares. I believe there's 15 secret rares, and pretty much like 10 of them are really, really, really strong. Like, you can open up majority of packs, and you have like a 2 out of 3 chances of getting something that's worth a few dollars. Now, Rafflesia is a pretty decent card. Any deck can really make use of this card. Excellent little card here. And then Cyber Dragon Infinity. Going again into the future, looking at what we're getting, this is still going to be a very strong card, simply because of the ABC deck, because you're going to go ahead and run Galaxy Soldier. Some people also run Transmodify to go into Galaxy Soldier and then go into another Cyber Dragon Infinity, so you can definitely make good use of Cyber Dragon Infinity, again, not only now but in the future. And it all really comes down to just certain decks can play it. Not every deck has access to this. Before we did, but that card got banned. Next up, I think a card that a lot of people are worried about, and honestly, I can understand that. Solemn Strike got reprinted, and so a lot of people are like, whoa, I want to get rid of my Solemn Strikes, or, if I pick these up, do you think it's going to get banned? or semi-limited. I don't think it's going to get banned. It could see semi-limited or the limited list. So just keep that in mind as far as Swarm Strikes go. I wouldn't hold on to 10 plus copies of the card. I recommend maybe if you have a playset, you'll be okay. And this is probably one of the most expensive cards right now in the entire set, all the mega packs, so to speak. Next up, we have the Odd Eyes Fusion. So I know Odd Eyes isn't like the most meta, but there are a few Odd Eyes decks or Pendulum decks that top once in a while, and they will be running Odd Eyes Fusion. It's still overall relatively strong cards because if your opponent controls 2 or more monsters and you can control no monsters, you can use up to 2 Odd Eyes monsters from your extra deck as materials. So it's pretty decent. It can force a CDI, meaning the Cyber Dragon Infinity, to be played. A lot of people don't run Raigeki and Dark Hole in the main deck, so this could be an option to an easy out to force your opponent to negate with the effect of Cyber Dragon Infinity. Because looking into the future format, that is basically a very powerful deck, and if it opens up strong against you, you usually want to have like a few answers to be able to force them to negate. Another excellent card to force them to negate is Pot of Desires. Unfortunately, that's not reprinted in the set, but yeah, Odd Eyes Fusion is still a decent card, but nonetheless, it's just like outpower creep, or the Odd Eyes engine essentially is. It lost a little bit of power with the whole Pendulum Claw and the Wavering Eyes. There's a lot of like things in Pendulums that got hit. Obviously, Monkey Board being hit as well. Next up, Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. Not the most expensive and pricey card, but still nonetheless a decent little card, and it did get reprinted. And I know some people just are collectors, so it'll be worth a couple bucks. And then also we have Painful Escape, which is a pretty decent card. So it's a secret rare, and it says you tribute one monster, add one monster with the same original type, attribute, and level, but with a different original name for your deck, graveyard, deck or graveyard to your hand. This could be excellent in a lot of different decks. You can technically use it in Tellers, you can use it in something like Burning Abyss, you can use it in a lot of different things, and looking into the game in the future, this could still be a very powerful card. Sometimes it's good to just have a playset of these if they're only worth a couple bucks, because later down the line, they might go up to 10, 20, sometimes, and I remember back in the day when we had like the Inferni stuff, that stuff was like $25 to $50, like some of the Inferni stuff, because people held on to it, they didn't think it was worth anything, and this card is just a decent card all around. And again, it's one of those cards where in the future it can definitely still see some play. Now, a decent little synchro over here, the Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. I know there is a Red Dragon Archfiend deck, but this is still overall a really good generic synchro monster just to be able to have in your extra deck, depending on what deck, of course, you are playing. I know that the Metal Foes deck that runs the Blackwing Synchro, and the Gofu, they have a lot of access to a lot of different synchros, and in certain circumstances, this card can be very, very good, because you can destroy as many special effect monsters on the field with attack less than or equal to this card, and then you can burn them for extra damage. So this is just overall a really good card. It's sitting about like $7 right now. It'll probably go down to like 5-ish if you have the new Mega Pack version, but overall, I still think it is definitely a card that everyone should at least have one copy of if they're playing a synchro deck. Next up, there's also Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. Now, this card is a pretty decent card to make. Now, I know it's a little bit difficult for certain decks to make a level 7 synchro, but looking into the future, we have the Wind Witches, or the Winter Witches, the Bells. That archetype is all about the wind synchros, and obviously they can make this card. Now, Crystal Wing is overall, in my personal opinion, just a much better card, which I don't think got reprinted in here. Crystal. Yeah, there is no Crystal Wing, so yeah, that card isn't in here. That card is like $30-something last time I checked. But yeah, Clear Wing Synchro Dragon is just an overall good card. Looking into the future, it's still going to be a decent little card, so it'll still be worth a couple bucks. Next up, there's also Galaxy Cyclone, which is a decent card. You get to target a card. I wish it was target just a card. So you get to target a set, spell, or trap card, and destroy it, and then you can banish it to target a face-up. I think this card is still overall a pretty decent card, especially in the side deck. Looking into what we're getting in the future, I don't know if we're going to get any more like support for Infernoids, but certain decks can make use of this. Like for example, Light Swarm, where you can just luckily you can get lucky and you can send random cards to the graveyard from your deck, and at that point Galaxy Cyclone gets extra utility. Looking into the future of the game, I don't think that there is very many decks that are going to make really good use of this that are coming out that I'm aware of, but if any of you guys know that there's something that's going to make use of it, I know that there was one person running Magical Merchant in a deck, a ABC deck. It didn't top, but I just saw someone running it, so I mean, I guess if you really want to try some like crazy stuff, feel free to go ahead and do so. But overall, yeah, Galaxy Cyclone, it's a decent card, and it'll probably still be a decent card in the future. Just because it gets Pendulum decks, it's pretty decent also, just being able to, get rid of a back card, then maybe get rid of the Pendulum Scale later on. And then also, there are some decent little comments in this. Gamma as well as a lot of the Kaijus just in general, they're relatively good, so you have access to tributing your opponent's stuff. That can be another answer to the Cyber Dragon Infinity, so yeah, definitely just have a few of these. It's only, I believe it's a rare in these. So yeah, just get a couple of the Kaijus just to kind of deal with some of your opponent's board. It's just a really good thing to have in the side deck. Or if you're playing certain decks like Mermails, you can make access. You have easier access to like this because it's just a water in general, so it's a decent little card. And then also there's Retaliating Sea for anyone that wants to play that card. It's a decent card in the side deck. I figured I'd just mention it. But overall, I didn't really want to go over all of the comments. I just kind of wanted to go over like the money cards because these are the best cards in the set, so to speak, that you want to like pull that are going to give you like good value. I also, guys, if you guys didn't see the Yu-Gi-Oh! Vine for the Megaton commercial that I made, I'll link it down below. It's a pretty funny Vine. Just go ahead and watch it. And let me know, guys, what you think of it. But anyways, as far as the Mega Pack goes, a lot of you guys always ask me, do you think it's worth investing into? As far as the secret rares go, there's a lot of really good secret rares. And as far as like Konami really hitting any of these things on the ban list, the only card that I really foresee seeing any type of ban is potentially Solemn Strike or the Cyber Dragon Infinity. Other than that, I think everything is relatively safe. But you guys let me know how you feel about that, because Konami always hits things that they reprint things and then they just go ahead and ban them or semi-limited or limit them. So then people get kind of upset through that. But nonetheless, it's a pretty decent set for the secret rares. But overall, looking at what's going to be meta in the future, I don't feel like this is really necessary to purchase unless you maybe want to complete some of these cards that you don't have. You want to get playsets of like Solemn Strike or any of these cards. But if you guys want to see the full spoiler list, I'll link it down below. But let me know, guys, do you guys think the Yugi tin is better or the Kaiba tin? I've already mentioned that I think the Kaiba tin is personally better. But let me know, guys, what you think, and maybe we'll do some like unboxings of these tins once I get them in. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure you guys give the like button a titty slap. And subscribe if you are a new Kappa. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I'm signing out.